Okay, this is big time, huge, important. All right, I'm going to read a whole lot here, but just bear with me, and I'm going to bounce around so I don't have to make it any longer than what it already is. But this is really, really big time important. 142 cities in Brazil are now rationing water as drought goes critical. Did you know that the drought in Brazil is so bad that some neighborhoods are only being allowed to get water once every 3 days? At this point, 142 Brazilian cities are rationing water, and there does not appear to be much hope that this crippling drought is going to end anytime soon. And unfortunately, most Americans seem to be absolutely clueless about all of this. In response to the recent article about how the unprecedented drought that is plaguing California right now could affect our food supply, one individual left a comment stating, "If California can't supply, South America will. We got NAFTA." Apart from the fact that this person could not even spell California correctly, we also see a complete ignorance of what is going on the rest of the planet. The truth is that the largest country in South America, Brazil, is also experiencing an absolutely devastating drought at the moment. They are going to have a very hard time just taking care of their own people for the foreseeable future. And this horrendous drought in Brazil could potentially have a huge impact on the total global food supply. As a recent RT article detailed, Brazil is the leading exporter in the world in a number of very important food categories. I'll let you get into the details on your own. Are you starting to see what I mean? This is serious. The drought in North America also continues to get even worse. According to an expert interviewed by National Geographic, this drought in the state of California could last for 200 years or more. I'll let you read more of that on your own as well. A drought of even 10 years would absolutely cripple this nation already. The size of the total U.S. cattle herd is the smallest it has been in 63 years, and California farmers are going to let 500,000 acres sit idle this year because of extremely dry conditions. If this drought persists for several more years, we will have an unprecedented crisis on our hands. Unfortunately, there are signs that this current drought in California may be part of a larger trend. I have never heard of the Pacific decadal oscillation before this week, but apparently it is a phenomenon that can cause droughts that last for decades. Ingram and other paleoclimatologists have correlated several historic megadroughts with a shift in the surface temperature of the Pacific Ocean that occurs every 20 to 30 years. Something called the Pacific decadal oscillation. The PDO is similar to an El Nino event, except it lasts for decades, as its name implies, whereas an El Nino event lasts 6 to 18 months. Cool phases of the PDO result in less precipitation because cooler sea temperatures bump the jet stream north, which in turn pushes off storms that would otherwise provide rain and snow to California. Ingram says entire lakes dried up in California following a cool phase of the PDO several thousand years ago. And of course, it isn't just the western half of the country that is struggling with water supply problems. In the southeast, water has been a major political issue for quite some time. The drought-parched states of Georgia, Alabama, and Florida are back at it, fighting for a slice of water rights in a decades-long water war that's left all three thirsty for more. The 24-year dispute is emblematic of an increasingly common economic problem facing cities and states across the country. The demand for water quickly outpacing the supply as spikes in population soak up resources. Most of us that live in the United States are accustomed to having seemingly inexhaustible supplies of fresh water. We use more fresh water per capita than anyone else on the planet, and most of us never even think twice about it. Unfortunately, things are changing. We are on the precipice of a great water crisis, and many Americans are going to be in for a very rude awakening. And the frightening thing is that the U.S. is actually in much better shape than most of the rest of the world is when it comes to supplies of fresh water. In some areas of the globe, a water crisis is already a daily reality. We have heard that someday water is going to become the new oil, and we are starting to get to that point. Life is simply not possible without water, and as global supplies of clean, fresh water dwindle, it is inevitable that it is going to cause global tensions to rise. Now, people are going to call this fear. It's facts, okay? It's funny how I've been doing this for 2 years, and the whole last year it was, oh, conspiracy this, no, conspiracy that. This stuff will never happen. Now all this stuff is happening. Now it's fear-mongering because it's happening, because it's facts, and now you can't turn your head from it. Can't turn away because there's no hiding from this stuff. Don't forget Fukushima has ruined the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico is ruined because of all that Corexit, which has also leaked into the Atlantic. This stuff is all happening at once, people, and it's not by mistake. It's not by coincidence. It's not by accident. And let's not forget West Virginia and North Carolina, or what, South Carolina, one of the two, where their water supplies are getting messed with big time with all those chemicals and whatever it is they're getting that's in there. So I just wanted to put this out there because this is really important stuff. Link will be below. Thanks very much to all my teammates and supporters out there. Appreciate it, everyone. All right, see you later.